Wait. Don't scroll past this video. This is about your ex. Your ex is someone very different from who you believed they were. I've uncovered a truth that's been hiding in plain sight since your first date. Deep in your heart, you've always sensed something wasn't right, but your mind kept pushing these thoughts away. Look closer now as I reveal what was really happening. Not just another breakup talk, this is the explanation that will finally make sense of all those confusing moments. Your ex brought strange energy into your life. The mixed signals, the emotional roller coaster, the confusion. Today you'll discover what it all meant. Only now are you truly ready to hear this. Every argument, sweet moment, and heartbreak with your ex was preparing you to understand what I'm about to reveal about who they really are and why they came into your life. Remember those moments when something felt off? The conversations that left you confused? The promises that never quite materialized? The behavior that didn't match their words? That wasn't you being paranoid, that was your inner wisdom trying desperately to make you see the truth. This person entered your world exactly when your life lessons required them. There are no random relationships, especially the ones that hurt the most. These connections shake us to our core for very specific reasons. Getting to this understanding means facing some hard truths. The painful moments you keep replaying. The questions that still bother you months or years later. They're what-ifs that pop into your mind when you least expect them. All these scattered pieces will finally form a clear picture today. Don't wait to learn this. Right now, your emotions are perfectly balanced to receive this information. If you'd heard this earlier, denial would have blocked it. If you wait longer, you'll miss the chance to fully heal and move forward. When you hear this truth, you'll feel it hit home immediately, that click of recognition when everything suddenly makes perfect sense. Hit that like button right now if you want to break through the emotional fog about your ex. Taking this simple action tells your mind you're ready to see the full picture of what really happened between you two. I can see the guides who've been watching over your healing journey gathering around you now. They've been waiting for the perfect moment when you'd be ready to learn what this person truly represented in your life story. Leave a comment saying "Show me the real story" if you're prepared to discover what your heart has been trying to tell you all along. The moment you type those words, the healing process will accelerate dramatically. This revelation about your ex is unlike anything you've heard before. It explains why certain feelings won't go away and what they're really trying to tell you. But this clarity window is temporary. You need to embrace it now while your emotional awareness is heightened. Let's talk about the warning signals your body and mind were sending you from the start. These weren't just random feelings, they were your built-in truth detector trying to break through. Think back to those times your stomach tightened when they walked into the room. How about when your sleep was disrupted after spending time with them? Or when you felt drained after what should have been a nice date? Your body was speaking a language your conscious mind wasn't hearing. Drop a comment saying "I recognize those signals" when you connect with these experiences. Your subconscious picks up information your thinking mind often misses or dismisses. Those weird coincidences and strange feelings were actually important messages. From a higher perspective, the patterns become obvious. maybe their stories had inconsistencies that didn't quite line up. Perhaps they seemed overly interested in certain topics while avoiding others completely. Or possibly other people in your life tried to point out concerns that you quickly defended against. Your entire being was working overtime to communicate with you, sending physical discomfort signals, emotional warning flares, and even dreams that left you feeling unsettled upon waking. Every cell was trying to reveal what words couldn't express. Think about interactions with others around your ex. How did your friends react when they met them? Did family members seem hesitant? Even animals and children, with their uncanny ability to sense energy, may have behaved differently around them. All these external reactions were backing up your internal warning system. This connection went far deeper than typical relationships, activating ancient patterns and emotional responses designed to help you grow in specific ways. Have you ever wondered why you met your ex precisely when you did? This wasn't random chance. The exact moment this person entered your life was perfectly timed for maximum impact on your personal growth. Consider your age when you met, your life situation, the previous experiences that had shaped you. Your ex appeared at exactly the point when you were primed for this particular lesson. Not a day sooner or later than necessary for your development. Write the timing makes sense now in the comments when you begin to see this pattern. Every relationship enters our lives during specific windows of opportunity that align with our deeper life journey. Looking back, notice how the relationship moved through distinct phases. The initial meeting that seemed so magical. The honeymoon period that felt perfect. The first problems that emerged. The increasing difficulties. The eventual breaking point. Each stage unfolded according to a precise developmental timeline. Some connections are meant to heal old wounds from childhood or past relationships. Others arrive to create entirely new pathways for growth. Your unique experience with your ex served one of these important purposes. When you examine the relationship timeline closely, you'll notice how outside events often coincided with relationship developments. A job change happening alongside relationship tension. A move occurring during a critical phase. A health issue arising during relationship stress. These aren't coincidences but interconnected aspects of your life story. The person who was your ex recognized you on a soul level, just as you recognized them. This mutual recognition activated precisely when both of you needed this specific experience, regardless of whether the conscious mind understood what was happening. Now let's uncover what was really happening beneath the surface with your ex. They weren't just the person you thought you knew, there were hidden aspects shaping everything about your relationship. Your ex carried inner struggles they never fully revealed. Perhaps childhood wounds that created fear of abandonment. Maybe deep insecurities masked by confidence or arrogance. Possibly unresolved trauma that emerged as controlling behavior. Their true self remained partially hidden even from themselves. I see it clearly now when these revelations start connecting with your experience. What they showed you was often just the tip of a much deeper iceberg of complexity. When you look through this lens, their puzzling behaviors start making sense. The sudden mood shifts. the seemingly irrational reactions to minor issues, the inconsistency between their words and actions. These weren't directed at you personally but were symptoms of their internal battles being played out in your relationship. Understanding this isn't about excusing harmful behavior. It's about seeing the complete picture so you can fully release the confusion that's kept you emotionally tied to the past. Their treatment of you was a reflection of their relationship with themselves. Every person enters relationships with unhealed aspects and blind spots. Your ex brought specific patterns that needed to be triggered and exposed in the presence of someone like you. This exposure served both of you, though rarely in comfortable ways. Each revelation about who they really were isn't meant to vilify them but to free you from the questions that have kept you stuck. The truth creates clarity, and clarity enables genuine healing and forward movement in your life. Let's go deeper into why you felt so drawn to this person beyond just physical attraction. When you met your ex, something profound happened on an energetic level that your conscious mind couldn't fully comprehend. This connection wasn't just about romance or compatibility. Your souls recognized each other from before, perhaps from past lives, perhaps from agreements made before you were born. This explains the instant familiarity many feel upon meeting significant exes. Comment: I felt that deep connection if you experienced this inexplicable bond. That feeling wasn't imaginary, it was recognition happening at a soul level beyond logical understanding. These powerful connections often involve soul contracts, agreements to help each other grow through specific experiences. Perhaps you agreed to help each other heal particular wounds. Maybe you came together to catalyze important life changes for one another. Possibly you needed to work through karma from previous interactions. This explains why the feelings ran so deep and why the breakup hurt more than seemed reasonable. Surface-level relationships don't create the same intensity of experience because they're not activating these deeper spiritual agreements. Notice how certain patterns kept repeating between you. The same arguments circling back. The identical triggers pushing both your buttons. The issues that never seemed to resolve despite endless discussion. These repetitive cycles were attempting to bring important lessons into conscious awareness. Some soul connections come together briefly but powerfully to spark transformation. Others weave in and out of our lives over time. Your connection with your ex contained precisely the spiritual elements needed for your evolution at this stage of your journey. Now let's identify the powerful lessons this relationship brought into your life. Every difficult experience with your ex was actually a teaching moment designed to help you grow in specific ways. This relationship taught you about boundaries, where they needed to be stronger, how to maintain them, and what happens when they're crossed. Perhaps you learned the hard way about giving too much. Maybe you discovered the importance of speaking up earlier. Possibly you realized how vital self-respect is to healthy connection. Share in the comments my biggest lesson was, and complete that thought. Naming these lessons accelerates your healing and helps others who are going through similar experiences. Through this relationship, you learned crucial lessons about communication. The importance of expressing needs clearly. The danger of assumptions. The power of honest conversation. The pain of things left unsaid. These communication insights will serve every relationship moving forward. Your ex also taught you about authenticity, the places where you compromised your values. The moments you weren't true to yourself. The times you knew something wasn't right but stayed silent. These authenticity lessons are among the most valuable gifts from difficult relationships. One of the most important lessons involved trusting yourself. Learning to distinguish between intuition and fear. Recognizing the difference between jealousy and legitimate concern. Understanding when gut feelings are trying to protect you. These discernment skills are priceless for your future. The most powerful teachings often come wrapped in experiences we never choose voluntarily. The relationship's greatest value lies within the growth it triggered, not in the temporary happiness or sadness it created. Let's talk about the amazing strengths this relationship awakened in you that might still be hidden from your view. Your ex unknowingly helped activate powerful abilities you'll use for the rest of your life. This challenging relationship revealed your incredible resilience. You discovered you could face heartbreak and survive. You found the strength to start over when necessary. You developed the courage to face difficult truths. This emotional toughness is a superpower many never develop. Type I am stronger now when you recognize these qualities in yourself. Acknowledging these strengths amplifies them and helps them become permanent parts of your character. Your ex helped activate your intuition. Those gut feelings you maybe ignored before? Now you understand their value. The subtle inner knowing about people and situations? It's sharper than ever. Your ability to sense emotional undercurrents? Significantly enhanced. These intuitive skills will protect and guide you moving forward. Your emotional intelligence expanded dramatically through this experience. The ability to recognize complex feelings. The capacity to process difficult emotions in healthy ways. The skill of responding thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. These emotional abilities create the foundation for all future relationships. You've also developed impressive discernment skills. You can now recognize manipulation more quickly. You can distinguish between genuine love and mere attraction. You can identify healthy versus unhealthy relationship patterns early. These discernment abilities will save you countless heartaches in the future. The fascinating truth about personal growth is that our greatest strengths often emerge from our greatest challenges. What felt like breaking was actually your breakthrough in disguise. Your ex played a critical role in activating these abilities, whether they intended to or not. Let's map out what real healing looks like after this relationship. Understanding these stages helps you navigate forward with confidence instead of confusion. The first essential phase is honest release. Allowing yourself to grieve what was lost. Expressing the emotions that need to come out. Acknowledging the pain rather than denying it. This emotional clearing isn't weakness, it's necessary preparation for what comes next. Comment "I'm ready to heal completely" when you're prepared to move through this process. Declaring your readiness signals to your subconscious that it's safe to begin deeper healing work. After release comes meaning making. This is where you transform raw experience into wisdom. Finding the lessons in the pain. extracting the growth from the challenges, discovering the purpose behind the suffering. This integration phase converts painful memories into valuable life insights. Next comes reclaiming yourself. Rediscovering passions and interests you may have neglected. Reconnecting with friends or family who took a back seat. Rebuilding confidence in your own perceptions and decisions. This reclamation phase restores your authentic self. Then you'll establish new, healthier boundaries. Setting clear standards for future relationships. Honoring your needs without guilt or apology. Creating appropriate distance from people or situations that drain you. These boundaries create the foundation for your future well-being. Finally comes the transformative power of forgiveness, not for their benefit but for yours. Releasing the resentment that only hurts you. Finding understanding without excusing harmful behavior. Freeing yourself from emotional chains to the past. This forgiveness creates genuine freedom. Remember that healing follows natural rhythms rather than timelines. Rushing through these phases limits their benefits. Honoring each stage creates complete transformation that leaves you better than before. Now let's explore how this difficult relationship was actually preparing you for something much better. Your ex wasn't your final destination, they were preparing you to recognize your true soulmate when they appear. Unlike the uncertainty or anxiety you might have felt with your ex, your true soulmate connection will bring unmistakable clarity. Their presence will feel right in a way that requires no convincing or questioning. Their energy will expand rather than deplete you. Write "I'm preparing for real love" in the comments if you're ready to open to this possibility. Your declaration helps shift your focus from past pain to future potential. Notice the stark differences in communication patterns. With your true soulmate, understanding flows naturally. Conversations feel easy rather than walking on eggshells. Silence feels comfortable rather than threatening. Words match actions consistently. Energy exchange will feel fundamentally different. Equal giving and receiving. Mutual respect and appreciation. Balanced attention to each other's needs. These healthy patterns create sustainable connection rather than the emotional drain you might have experienced before. Even conflicts will transform. Disagreements will lead to greater understanding rather than distance. Challenges will strengthen your bond rather than threaten it. Growth will happen together rather than at each other's expense. The magnetic attraction bringing your soulmate into your life is directly connected to your healing work. As you clear old patterns and raise your standards, you naturally align with healthier connections. Remember that true soulmate connections don't require you to become someone else or shrink yourself to fit. They celebrate your authentic self while encouraging your highest potential. Two whole people choosing partnership rather than two incomplete people seeking completion through each other. Let's explore the message your ex's higher self would share with you now, beyond ego, beyond hurt, beyond the limitations of your human interaction. This perspective reveals the spiritual purpose behind your connection. At the soul level, there's recognition of what you both gained through your relationship. The growth neither of you could have achieved alone. The necessary ending that human attachment might have resisted. The courage your healing journey demonstrates. Comment: I receive closure to signal your openness to this higher understanding. This perspective creates completion beyond what's possible through conventional closure methods. From this expanded viewpoint flows genuine appreciation. Recognition of how you served as important catalysts for each other. Acknowledgement of gifts exchanged beyond what was visible on the surface. Gratitude for the soul growth that occurred, even through painful experiences. This higher perspective brings understanding about separate paths moving forward. Your journey continues in directions aligned with your highest good. Their path leads where their soul requires. This separation serves both of your evolutionary purposes perfectly. When you view the relationship through this spiritual lens, lingering resentment begins dissolving. You can honor what happened between you without remaining emotionally entangled. The lessons remain while the attachment releases. This perspective helps you understand why certain closure wasn't possible in the human interaction. Some completions happen energetically rather than through conversation. Some healing occurs through inner work rather than external resolution. The relationship served its complete purpose. Nothing was missing, nothing was wasted. Everything unfolded according to a higher design that considered both of your growth needs, even when the human experience felt chaotic or painful. We've arrived at the most powerful truth about your relationship with your ex, the revelation that brings everything into perfect clarity. This connection, with all its joy and pain, fulfilled exactly the purpose it was meant to serve in your life story. Nothing about it was accidental or without meaning. Every moment contributed to who you're becoming. Comment: I understand it all now to mark this moment of complete clarity. This understanding creates the foundation for your next chapter. Looking back with this new vision, you can see how each challenge was perfectly designed. The heartbreak that seemed senseless. The questions that appeared unanswerable. The pain that felt purposeless. All were essential components of your personal evolution. The most valuable outcome isn't found in memories or lessons but in who you've become through this experience. Your capacity for authentic connection has expanded. Your self-knowledge has deepened. Your resilience has strengthened. Complete healing is now available to you. All the insights from this revelation integrate into your being, permanently transforming how you approach love and relationships. Your heart is now prepared for experiences that match your true worth. Every understanding you've gained creates space for connections aligned with who you're becoming. Received this final blessing, you are completely free to move forward. The past has served its purpose. Your future holds connections beyond what you can currently imagine.